When most people imagine Russian military might, their minds jump to massive war machines streaking across the skies or launching from hidden underwater depths. The Su-57 fighter jet slicing through clouds, the S-400 missile shield locking onto targets with icy precision, the nuclear-powered submarines gliding beneath Arctic ice. These systems get all the attention, all the headlines, and all the heated debates online. But quietly patrolling the edges of Russia's vast territory is a weapon far less glamorous, yet terrifyingly effective. It does not fly, and it does not dive. Instead, it rolls, slowly, steadily, silently. It blends into the coastline like a work truck parked near a remote beach, and then, without warning, it can unleash a storm capable of ripping warships apart before they ever see danger coming. This quiet beast is the 3K-60 BAL Coastal Defense System, a mobile fortress armed with anti-ship missiles and engineered to make hostile navies think twice before they dare approach Russian waters. Why Russia built a coastal hunter? Coastal defense has always been a core pillar of Russia's military strategy. With more than 37,000 kilometers of coastline, spanning fragile Arctic channels, heavily trafficked European waters, and geopolitically vital eastern seas, Russia cannot afford coastal vulnerability. Historically, Russia relied on fixed coastal missile bases inherited from the Soviet era. These were powerful, but static positions have a weakness. Once located, they can be targeted, bypassed, or destroyed. As warfare evolved into a game of speed, stealth, and precision in the 21st century, it became clear that static defenses alone could not protect such vast maritime borders. Russia needed a defender that could move like a hunter instead of sit like a bunker. That requirement gave birth to the BAL in the mid-2000s, officially entering service around 2008. It arrived not simply as a replacement for older systems, but as a symbol of a new doctrine, one focused on mobility, surprise, and the ability to instantly control sea approaches without ever launching a ship. A fortress on 8 wheels? To an uninformed passerby, a BAL launcher might look like a rugged military transport truck. In reality, each one is a self-contained war machine. The entire system rides on the powerful MZKT heavy 8-wheel chassis, built to conquer harsh terrain from frozen Arctic tundra to muddy riverbanks and sandy Black Sea beaches. The BAL's vehicles carry advanced radars, secure communication systems, and powerful onboard computers that allow the system to detect, track, target, and fire without relying on external infrastructure. Every launcher vehicle can hold 8 cruise missiles, and a full BAL battery fields 4 launchers at a time, allowing a standard deployment to send 32 deadly missiles toward enemy ships in a coordinated strike. With reload trucks in support, that number can double in a single combat wave. Yet firepower is only part of the BAL's danger. Speed is the other half of the equation. This system can stop, deploy, lock onto targets, fire, and disappear again in under 10 minutes. It is designed to hit and move before counterfire tracks its location. In military terms, it is a ghost with claws. The KH-35 missile, a low-flying Reaper. A missile system is only as deadly as the missile it launches, and the BAL's ammunition is the KH-35 anti-ship cruise missile, a weapon forged to hunt vessels with ruthless efficiency. Around 4 meters long and weighing over 600 kilograms, the KH-35 cuts across the sea like a spear. But what truly makes it dangerous is how it flies. As it launches, it climbs briefly and then skims just 10 to 15 meters above the water, following a sea-hugging path that hugs waves and hides beneath radar detection lines. When it reaches the final moments before impact, it drops even lower, sometimes just 4 meters above the surface, leaving enemy defense systems with only seconds to react. This missile is guided first by an inertial navigation system, and then by an active radar seeker that locks onto the target independently. That means even if the ship tries to jam signals or turn away, the KH-35 adjusts and continues hunting. With a warhead weighing roughly 145 kilograms, the missile is capable of crippling a frigate or tearing apart a landing craft in a single strike. And the real nightmare is not one missile. It is dozens arriving simultaneously, saturating defenses like a steel rainstorm. Strategic deployment across 4 fronts. The Bal is not tucked away in one corner of Russia. It is positioned like a shield around key maritime frontiers, creating invisible zones where foreign navies tread at their own risk. In the Baltic region, Bal units positioned in Kaliningrad give Russia the ability to monitor and, if necessary, block naval access near Poland and Lithuania. Together with other advanced systems stationed there, the Bal contributes to one of the most heavily defended maritime zones in Europe. In the south, the Bal stands watch in the Black Sea region. After Russia took Crimea in 2014, Bal systems were rapidly deployed to the peninsula, ensuring Moscow could control sea access and defend its Black Sea Fleet headquarters. Reports during the conflict in Ukraine even suggest modified Bal units struck land targets, proving it is evolving beyond simple ship killing. In the east, Bal systems protect the Pacific approaches from the Kuril Islands to the Kamchatka Peninsula. These waters are increasingly strategic as Russia competes for influence in the Asia-Pacific and protects maritime routes near Japan. And in the far north, Bal vehicles are being positioned along Arctic coasts as melting ice opens new shipping channels and resource opportunities. Everywhere Western naval forces might appear, the Bal sits quietly, ready to contest the sea without launching a single ship. A different kind of naval power. Naval power is often judged by the size and sophistication of ships and submarines. But the Bal turns that thinking upside down. It sends a blunt message to rival fleets: approach at your peril. The Bal is not designed to chase targets across oceans. It is designed to dominate the waters near Russian territory, creating maritime zones where enemy vessels fear to sail. In a time when amphibious assaults, naval blockades, and forward-deployed carrier strike groups shape global strategy, the Bal's role becomes obvious. It exists to cut off a landing force before it reaches the beach. It exists to deny a fleet access to strategic waters. It exists to force enemy admirals to calculate risk before crossing invisible lines on the map. And above all, it shows that not all naval dominance comes from the sea. Sometimes the sea is controlled from the land, quietly, efficiently, and without warning. The quiet shadow on Russia's shoreline. The 3K-60 Bal does not roar through the skies like a fighter jet or dive dramatically beneath ocean waves like a submarine. It does not make headlines or star in viral military videos. Instead, it waits in silence. It blends into forests, hides behind dunes, and rests on icy coastal plains. It is patient, it is mobile, it is deadly. Should a hostile fleet push too far toward Russian waters, the Bal will not announce itself with speeches or threats. It will simply open its launch tubes and let its missiles speak. In doing so, it proves that true military strength is not always seen. It is prepared, concealed, and ready to strike the moment danger appears. In a world obsessed with flashy technology and dramatic firepower, the Bal reminds us of an older truth. Sometimes the deadliest guardian is the one you never notice until it is already too late. And that brings us to the end of our journey into Russia's silent coastal assassin. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more deep dives into military technology and battlefield secrets, don't forget to hit like, tap, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss future uploads. Your support keeps this channel moving and helps bring you more stories from the silent edge of modern warfare. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay curious, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next one.